At some point while you're on the phone with your sister and walking around the woods, did you find something?
Yes, I stepped over a log and found the remains.
And specifically, when you said remains, what did you see?
Specifically, I found a human skull.
Did you know right then that it was human?
Susana Morales was only 16 when she went missing. The sudden disappearance caused an uproar amongst the community. In a shocking chain of events, the prime suspect was a trusted police officer by the name of Miles Bryant.
She says it was a screen grab that led her to identify the man in the fatigues as Bryant, a man she knew who tried to reconnect with her, but she was not interested. She says Bryant became so aggressive she feared for her life and reported the then police officer to his employer, Doraville Police.
Today's case takes place in the city of Norcross, located in Georgia, United States of America. Georgia is the largest state east of the Mississippi River. It is known for its vibrant culture, antebellum homes with manicured gardens and cherry blossom trees. With a population of over 10 million, Georgia is celebrated for its warm, welcoming culture and southern charm. However, the city's story took a dark and sinister turn, leaving the community shaken by the actions of those sworn to protect them. Susana Morales was born on June 24, 2006. She lived with her mother Maria and her stepfather Leo. As the youngest in her family, she also had two older sisters, Jasmine and Jalissa, and a stepbrother. Susana and her family were of Hispanic heritage and shared a close bond. She was the prankster of the family, and each day the house was filled with laughter and fun. At the age of just 16, Susana was a student at the Meadow Creek High School, where she was known for her hard work and passion for cheerleading. She was also musically gifted, spending much of her free time singing and playing the piano and guitar. It was the school holidays, and on the evening of the 26th of July 2022, Susana visited a friend's house. She was wearing blue jeans, a yellow tank top, and a comfortable white Crocs. Her friend lived at the Sterling Glen apartment complex, located just less than a mile away from Susana's home. That evening, Susana texted her mum at 9:40 p.m, letting her know she was heading back. However, when she didn't arrive from what should have been a 9-minute walk, her family quickly became worried. Susana's mother made several attempts to call her, but sadly her calls were unanswered. Alarmed by the sudden silence, her mother desperately contacted Susana's friend and boyfriend for answers. The next morning she was reported missing to the Gwinnett County Police. Susana's mum told officers that she had been in contact with Susana before leaving her friend's house, and her phone's location data showed she was en route home, until her phone mysteriously switched off. Tragically, the Gwinnett County Police dismissed the Morales family's concerns, labeling Susana's disappearance as a possible runaway case. They insisted the family wait 48 hours before she could be officially considered missing. This lack of urgency during the critical first 48 hours cost valuable time, leaving a family helpless and frustrated. Ultimately, crucial opportunities to find Susana were lost. As weeks passed by with no signs of Susana, her devastated family and friends took matters into their own hands. They distributed flyers, organized searches, and regularly posted on social media, pleading with the public for any information that could help lead to her whereabouts. Their efforts paid off when a member of the public submitted CCTV footage from the night Susana disappeared. This showed her less than a minute away from home, just before 10 p.m. on the night she went missing. Shortly after 10:21, her phone's location data pinged at Steve Reynolds Boulevard. This crucial evidence within such a limited time frame strongly indicated that Susana had either got into a car or was forced into the vehicle, further deepening the mystery surrounding her disappearance. With public pressure intensifying and Susana's disappearance gaining attention from influencers on social media, the police could no longer ignore the case. On August 29th, over a month after Susana vanished, law enforcement finally released a public statement requesting the public's help in locating her. However, the statement was met with disappointment by Susana's family as it downplayed the urgency of the situation, claiming, "There is no indication that Morales is in any specific danger, and it is not believed that she is being held against her will." The following day, Susana's sister Jasmine gave an emotional interview, expressing a deep concerns for Susana's safety and also the frustration with the police's statement. It wasn't until February the 6th, 2023 that Susana's fate became tragically clear. A passerby named Matthew Gilbert discovered skeletal remains along Drowning Creek Road, a wooded area approximately 20 miles from where Susana was last seen. There were skull bones scattered throughout the woods, Gilbert recalled.
At some point while you're on the phone with your sister and walking around the woods, did you find something?
Yes, I stepped over a log and found the remains.
And specifically, when you said remains, what did you see?
Specifically, I found a human skull.
Did you know right then that it was human?
Yes.
How?
Very undeniably human.
When you saw the skull, sir, what did you do?
Well, I hung up the phone and called 911.
At that point, could you tell if this was male or female?
No.
And you said you called 911.
I did.
Did you stay in the woods?
I went back to get my vehicle to bring it out so that they would be able to see it on the side of the road, and then stayed on the edge of the wood line.
Tragically, not all of her bones were recovered, and with no clothing or personal belongings found at the scene, Susana's family had to wait an excruciating 2 days before dental records confirmed that the remains were indeed hers. Their worst fears were realized, but their grief deepened as troubling questions surfaced. What had happened to Susana during the 6 months she was missing? And why hadn't law enforcement acted sooner? As investigators combed and searched the area of the crime scene, they found a gun. Susana's remains showed no bullet wounds, but police believed the firearm was linked to her death and looked into this as a possible lead. Shockingly, when law enforcement ran the serial number on the gun, it traced back to their own 22-year-old Miles Bryant, a police officer in the neighboring town, Doraville. Miles Bryant had reported his gun and wallet as stolen just 2 hours after Susana disappeared. However, as investigators dug deeper into Miles, they discovered that he lived in the same apartment complex as Susana's friend, the Sterling Glen apartment complex. Furthermore, when detectives tracked Miles' cell phone movements for the night in question, it became clear that his report about the stolen wallet and gun was fabricated, raising serious suspicions about his involvement in the case.
So yesterday, I don't know what time, man. I went running around here. I did a bunch of stuff yesterday, and I came back. I went to the store and everything. I had it at the store, and I came back. I went running everything, and then me and my girl was finna leave. I was like, I got my wallet. I don't know where my wallet at. So I can't find my wallet. And then this morning, I worked Doraville. I was getting my dry cleaner. I got to work tonight, and then I looked on my floorboard, and the my Glock 19 holster is on the floorboard, and my Glock 19 is always together, you know. Right. So, I hate to say, I think I left my. They ain't smashed the window or nothing. I fucked around, left my door unlocked. The biggest, I know, man. I get on people all the time. I take the inner auto report. I just want to at least put that, on GCIC. That's fine. Yeah. It was in there when you went to the store last night, correct? Yeah, it was. I don't know. You know? I don't know. I I looked down. I looked down this morning and saw my holster. I said, I can't find my wallet. My holster's there. My gun and holster is never separate. You know, we the people conceal holster. If I take it, I take the holster. I don't carry it free. So that's definitely missing. Let me get serial number for you real quick. If you don't mind. Yeah, sorry about that.
On February the 13th, Miles Bryant was arrested, and the city of Doraville released a statement acknowledging the arrest of their former police officer in connection with the disappearance and murder of Susana Morales. The statement emphasized the city's cooperation with the investigation and expressed condolences to Susana's family and those affected by the tragedy. Ironically, on this very same day that Miles was arrested, Susana was laid to rest. The timing was a cruel twist of fate, marking the beginning of justice. Whilst her family found some closure in finally being able to say goodbye, the grief of not knowing the circumstances surrounding her death remained unbearable. In a moment of transparency and heartbreak, the family allowed a media station to film her graveside service, hoping to raise awareness about Susana's case and the systematic failure that delayed her being found. The revelation that a police officer was involved in Susana's death sent shockwaves through the community and sparked widespread outrage. Concerns grew over how someone entrusted with protecting the public could commit such a heinous act. In response, protests and vigils were held. Community members demanded justice and equal attention to be paid to missing black and brown girls in America. Meanwhile, 4 more victims of the disgraced officer, Miles Bryant, came forward, accusing Miles of stalking, possessive behavior, aggression, and breaking into their homes, and even stealing their underwear. This further fueled public anger and calls for accountability, as the police had already been notified of these crimes but failed to take corrective action. If the department had taken action sooner, Susana may still be alive today. Miles' trial began in 2024. There was no evidence to suggest that Susana had ever met or knew her killer. The prosecution argued that Miles had used his position as a police officer to fulfill his essay desires, murder and dispose of Susana's body. Due to the extremely decomposed skeletal remains, the medical examiner was unable to determine the exact cause of death. However, Miles was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole on June the 12th, 2024, though he was acquitted of the charge of attempted essay.
Anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to say anything for? Go ahead.
No, you can just speak from there.
I just want to apologize to everybody and to the Bivens family. Sorry, that's it.
That's it. Mr. Bryant, on count 1, malice murder, I sentence you to life without the possibility of parole. Count 2 and count 3, I believe, vacate as operation of law. Count 5, I sentence you to 12 months, which is the maximum I can, consecutive to your life without the possibility of parole. Thank you. You may go with the deputies.
Your Honor, may I ask
Following the guilty verdict, Susana Morales' sister, holding back tears, addressed the court. All I ever wanted was justice for what happened to her. I want to thank you for that, she said, speaking directly to the jury. The trial judge, visibly moved by the impact statement from Susana's family, then turned to her mother and said, "I cannot imagine the torture and pain you have endured. Susana did not deserve this." As we conclude, Susana Morales' story stands as a chilling reminder of the evil and malice hiding behind those sworn to serve and protect. We hope her friends and family have found some semblance of peace, knowing that Miles Bryant will spend the rest of his life behind bars.